So there is a, you all have that one white paper that I had given? A lot of you don't? Yeah? Okay. Who all don't have, lift your hand? Okay. So if you, somebody has beside you, you can see with them, or you can go to Google and say Vibhavari Sesha. Vibhavari Sesha. Aloka Pravesha. There is a Kirtan we'll sing now. Go to Google and say Vibhavari Sesha, or it's there in the paper that I had given. Okay, so everybody can sing enthusiastically. Don't sing with me, sing after me. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol, Hare Bol. Hare Krishna. They're the youngest regular participants. Do you all have it? Paper, it's over project. You have Google on this? You can Google Vibhavari Sesha, but Vibhavari, Vibhava, Vibhavari Sesha.
I'll share the link on the group.
Yeah, you can do that as well. Vibhavari Sesha, Aloka Pravesha, Nidrachari Yukho Jiva, Vibhavari Sesha, Aloka Pravesha, Nidrachari Yukho Jiva, Bolo Hari Hari Mukunda Murari Rama Krishna Hare Deva. Bolo Hari Hari Mukunda Murari Rama Krishna Hare Deva. Narsimha Vamana Shri Madhusudana Brajendra Nandana Shama. Putana Dhakana Saitava Dhakana Jaya Dajarati Rama. Yashoda Purana Govinda Gopala Vrindavana Purandara. Vrindavana Purandara. Gopi Priyajana Radhika Ramana Bhuvana Sundara. श्रावण काकर माखन कास्कर गोपी जनावत्राहारी ब्रजे राघव गोपावृंदावन चित्ताहरि भक्ति योगीन्द्र बंधन श्रीनंदनंदन ब्रज जना भयहारी नवीन नीरद रूपा मनोहर मोहन बंसी बिहारी यशोदानंदन संसारित निकुंज रास विलासी कदम्ब कानन रस परायण वृंदावितेन निवासी आनंदवर्धन प्रेमानिकेतन कुलचरण गोपाधन चित्ता विनोदन समस्त गुणगण यमुन जीवन केली परायण मानस चंद्र चकोरा नाम सुधारक गाओ कृष्ण राखो वचन मन मोरा नाम सुधारक गाओ कृष्ण राखो वचन मन मोरा विभवरिशेष आलोक मित्राचारी बोलो हरि हरि मुकुंद मुरारी राम सहाय बोलो हरि हरि मुकुंद मुरारी राम सहाय Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare बलदेवाजय सुभद्रा जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी नयन पथगामी भाव तुम्हें जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी नयन पथगामी भाव तुम्हें Sai Gorango, Sai Gorango, Sai Gorango, Gaura Hari. Jaya Sati Nandana, Jaya Sati Nandana, Jaya Sati Nandana, Gaura Hari. Patita Pavana, Patita Pavana, Patita Pavana, Gaura Hari. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jai Jai Gurudev. Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. श्री राधा गोपी वल्लभ की जय, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की जय, श्री निताई गौरंग भगवान की जय, ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, श्रीमद् ग्रंथ भगवद गीता की जय, निताई गौर हरि प्रेमानंद हरि हरि बोल. So there are the invocation prayers. You all can open that in the first page of Bhagavad Gita. Also, they are there. If you remember them, you don't need to. Otherwise, you can open them and sing along with me. Om Jnantimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuro Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadadi Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Leena Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhiraye Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopah Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namah Pankajanabhaya Namah Pankajamalini Namah Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangre Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Goratvishe Namaha Namo Brahmanyaya Devaya Gau Brahmanahitaya Cha Jagadhitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastyatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nukum Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayati Girimit Kripahatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Shri Pramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Om Apavitro Pavitro Va Sarvavastam Gatopi Va Yat Smaret Pundarikaksha Sabhyabhyantaram Sacha Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu. Hare Krishna. Thank you all, Prabhuji and Matajis, for coming again. This is our third class, right? Third Bhagavad Gita class. It's so enlivening and such a happy moment to always start Bhagavad Gita. Many times, many times. And every time we read, it's a literature that keeps revealing itself. Ye yathamam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajaminam. According to how we approach God, He reveals Himself. If we approach Him just for getting knowledge, He will give you that knowledge. If you approach Him just for mental speculation, I want to interpret 2-3 scriptures, He'll give you mental speculation. But if you approach Him for devotion, He'll give you devotion. And the goal of Bhagavad Gita ultimately is devotion. What Arjuna faced was not an ordinary situation. And that is exactly, we are almost getting into that. The introduction part is happening, where we all know the great politics of Duryodhana, right? He was a politician, he was trying to manage great people. And when you're trying to manage great people, you have to be careful in dealing with them. So he was calling Drona instead of Bhishma, just because he's a Brahman. And again, trying to provoke Drona that your friend's son is there to fight. You only taught him the education, right? At the same time, he's respectful to Drona and is also insulting Bhishma indirectly, that I'm speaking to Drona instead of you. Then again, he's praising Bhishma, that Bhishma, you are most important for us, and so you have to be protected. So he's again politically telling his people that they are also very important than Bhishma. So Bhishma is a pure devotee. Listening to all of this, he gets vexed up. Like he knows what Duryodhana is doing. He's doing politics, isn't it? Politics means what? Trying to manipulate people, right? For your advantage, in a way. That's not the goal of politics, but that's what happens. So verse number 12 is when Bhishma gets vexed up. I'm like, enough is enough. Both of your politics. What does he do immediately? He immediately starts the war. Stop talking Duryodhana, I'll start the war. Right? So how do you start the war? Well, you declare the war by blowing your conch shell. Right? So the signs of victory from verse number 12 to 20 are all signs of victory. It's kind of subtitle like that. So text number 12. Please repeat after me. Tasya tasta san. 1 second. Tasta sana san janayan harsha. Tasta sana janayan harsham. Kuru vriddha pitamaha. Simhanadam vinadyochai. Shankam dadmau pratapavan. Translation purport by Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Please repeat after me. Then Bhishma, the great valiant grandchild of the Kuru dynasty, the grandfather of the fighters, blew his conch shell very loudly, making a sound like the roar of a lion, giving Duryodhana joy. Right? So then Bhishma, the great valiant grandchild of the Kuru dynasty, the grandfather of the fighters, blew his conch shell very loudly, making a sound like the roar of a lion, giving Duryodhana joy. Let's read the purport, please focus. The grandchild of the Kuru dynasty could understand the inner meaning of the heart of his grandson Duryodhana. And out of his natural compassion for him, he tried to cheer him by blowing his conch shell very loudly. Befitting his position as a lion, indirectly, by the symbolism of the conch shell, he informed his depressed grandson Duryodhana that he had no chance of victory in the battle because the Supreme Lord Krishna was on the other side. But still, it was his duty to conduct the fight, and no pains would be spared in that connection. Hare Krishna. So blowing of conch shell is a very auspicious activity. Actually, whenever you start something divine, you blow conch shell. Even in India, in every temple, conch shell is blown. It's like an invitation for all the devatas, Mukkoti devatas, to come and witness what we are going to do. Though we consider some things as very dirty and some things very untouchable, like stool, you don't like to touch stool. You don't like to touch urine. You don't like to touch vomit. You don't like to touch dead bone, right? You don't. These things are considered dirty, right? But the amazing part is, God uses them in His worship. How? Conch shell is what? Dead bone, isn't it? Dead bone, and dead bone is blown in the temple, right? That's the body of a living entity that leaves it, so it can be used for blowing the conch shell. Can somebody tell vomit? How vomit is used? Honey. Honey is what? Vomit of a bumblebee. It eats everything, it vomits into it. It creates honey, right? Honey goes into the honeybee, and that is used as abhishekam, isn't it? Can anybody think of stool? Cow dung. Cow dung is used. Yeah, cow dung it's smeared when Krishna killed Putana. Yashoda Maya becomes so worried that so many infections can come to my son. So she actually, completely cleaned him with cow dung, right? And any urine that you can think of, cow urine, right? Cow urine is such a purifying thing. Even in our villages, even now, they sprinkle cow urine around the house, cow urine and cow dung, they sprinkle so that insects, bacteria, nothing comes into the house, right? And so is even the deity worshipped, right? Deity is worshipped and cleaned with cow urine. When you're going to place any in a house, whenever there is auspicious activity, the Brahmana asks for some cow dung and cow urine to be sprinkled, and then he cleans it. Then he keeps the the kalash on top of that, right? So such is the importance. So the greatness of Vedic civilization is we are so inclusive. We don't misuse or disrespect anything. We have a use for everything, right? And we are not whimsically blind people also. Some people say that, we people worship stone. Like that there was a movie called PK. Koi PK banaya. It's a useless movie because you know what it did? It created questions. But they didn't bother to give answers. A lot of people became atheists. I give seminars in colleges sometimes. I'm invited there and I give a college seminar. And that time, students come and ask all those questions because they all watched the movie PK. There is no harm in asking question. See, you can make a movie questioning religion, but you should also make a movie to answer the questions, right? They didn't do that. They made lots of money. They made lots of money making such movie. Today, that's what is happening to Sanatan Dharma. They question everything, right? So, for example, they say that you worship stone. How many here feel that we worship stone? We don't worship stone. We worship the Vigraha made of stone. And the Archa Vigraha is made of stone and then it is installed. There is a whole process of installing the Archa Vigraha in a post box. For some reason, the internet went away. Yeah. So, yeah, you go ahead and put it in a post box, and post box is approved by whom? The government of India, right? It's not like Prabhuji liked the post box, he approved it, wrote Harshal there, and it will go. It will not go like that. It has to be approved by the government of India. Similarly, whatever we worship, whatever we do, has to be approved by authority. And that authority is called Sampradaya. Right? There are different Sampradayas. So why we blow conch shell is because there is a reason behind it. Right? And the sound made by conch shell can reach any distance as compared to any other sound that you make. There are a lot of subtle sounds that you can't imagine. Right? Krishna blew the conch in Kurukshetra and Dhritarashtra could hear it in Hastinapur. Just imagine. There is a sound wave, the different kind of sound that cannot be produced with anything else. Right? And actually it removes the inauspicious omens from the house. Blowing conch shell in the house is a very good thing. Whenever you can buy a conch shell, keep it near your altar, your puja room. Whenever you start the puja, blow the conch shell 3 times. And it's very, very good for the house. Right? So there is a reason why we do what we do. So that's also a declaration of war. Now, after blowing conch shell, there is no compromise. There is no discussion. But surprisingly, the war has started and then the discussion starts. Right? So after blowing conch shell, you can start the arrows. You don't have to wait. So here Bhishma is blowing the conch shell for 2 reasons. One is he is telling his grandson that I am with you. Second is telling that what is the use of me being with you, because Krishna is on the other side. And he's also blowing the conch shell because he's done with politics. Bas baat karna band karo. Let us start the war itself. Right? Yeah. Let's go to work. Any questions here? By the way, have you all done your homework? Repeated reminders? Okay, I'm going to ask few questions. I'll ask specifically looking at the person. Is that okay? Because whoever learn and come, they only will answer. Okay. So what is how many yugas are there, Prabhuji? 4 yugas are there. What are the yuga names, Prabhuji? Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, Kali Yuga. Okay. How many years are there in Kali Yuga? Roughly. Okay, yourself. Nahin? Does anyone want to refer back? Anybody can tell?
4,72,000.
4 lakh
72,000.
52?
4,52,000.
4 lakh 52,000? Is that true? 32,000. Okay, let's settle at 32. 4 lakh 32,000 years are there in Kali Yuga. Before that comes Dwapar Yuga. How many years in Dwapar Yuga?
4,32,000 into 2.
Exactly double. 8 lakh 64,000 years, right? And how many years in Treta Yuga? 3 times. How much is that? 12 lakh,
96.
something like that. 96,000. Yeah. And Satya Yuga?
17,28,000.
Yeah. 4 times, right? And what is the age a human being could live in the Satya Yuga?
1 lakh.
1 lakh years. Amazing, no? 1 lakh years. And how many years in Dwapar Yuga?
10,000.
Treta Yuga, I should have told. Treta Yuga is 10,000. Dwapar Yuga is 1,000. Kali Yuga is 100. Now in 2023, 60 तक खींच के लेकर आ गया. हाँ? क्या होगा? लेस खाओगे, पापड़ खाओगे, वही होगा. है कि नहीं? So anyway, so yes, bro.
The yuga phase down, like the phasing of the moon.
Satya Yuga will start. Satya Yuga will start. Directly Satya Yuga will start. But there will be a transitionary period. It's not like कान बंद किया ऊपर के Satya Yuga. ऐसे नहीं होता. So there is a transitionary period. Brahma ends his day, starts. I mean, there is ending of day is another thing, but there are in between there are annihilations after every yuga. Huge devastation will happen, and again the Satya Yuga kings will come back, and the Satya Yuga will start. The entire thing will get revived. The whole earth will get revived. All these buildings will go down. ये पूरा building नीचे जाएगा. Coal बनेगा. We'll extract coal and make electricity then. Right. So whatever your property value is will become coal.
It's not like phasing, like after you got one.
The same way. It's called one yuga cycle. And all this together is exactly 1700 and what is it? 1.7 million, something like that, right? Yeah. That's the number of Hare Krishna mantras you chant when you chant 16 rounds also. Yeah. So there is a whole calculation behind it. So anyway, so questions. So Kali Yuga is 100. It's decreasing. And what is the Yuga Dharma? What is the meaning of Yuga Dharma? I should point and ask, right? Rosie. To re-establish our connection with God, there is a process given in each yuga, because the capacity of the person in the yuga changes, right? So what is the Yuga Dharma of Satya Yuga, Mataji? Meditation, right? Mantra meditation. Does it mean we should not do meditation now? We can do, but it will not work, right? We'll meditate on something else. Instead of meditating on Vishnu Pada, we'll meditate on some other things, right? Okay, what is the Akshay Prabhu? What is the process for Treta Yuga? Homework nahi kiya kya? Yajnas, yes, performing yajnas. Why we can't do yajnas now? We can do yajnas now, right? Who all want to do yajnas? Lift your hand. You have to get at least 10,000 kgs of gold. Kg gold? 10,000 kg? हाँ भैया लाना पड़ेगा. You have to get pure ghee, which practically doesn't exist now, unless you have a desi cow, right? You have to have so many brahmanas who are chanting with the right consciousness, which is again almost non-existent now, right? So there are so many things needed to do yajna, which was possible then properly. Now it's possible, it will not work. You'll feel like you're doing yajna, but it is not really serving the purpose. What is the Yuga Dharma for Dwapar Yuga? Deity worship, Vigraha Aradhana, right? You have a Archa Vigraha and deity worship. So deity worship is done to establish your connection with the Krishna, and you develop a lot of attachment to the deity. Why it cannot be done now? Is it being done now? It is being done now. You see temple, but they're not being properly done. It cannot be properly done because the dedication has to be at the next weekend. It is actually 5 times Krishna. Yeah. And temples have more standards also. They also increase it depending on it. As soon as he's woken up in the morning, he likes to eat a snack. So there is a snack. Right? There is a nice, Shrikand or something like that prepared, not Shrikand, Barfi, Sandesh, ऐसा बनाते हैं, fresh, not like परसों का निकाल के डब्बे में से दे रहे हैं, नहीं, Krishna likes it fresh, right, like that. So there is a whole Archa Vigraha Aradhana Paddhati, which is called Pancharatra Vidhi. Can you repeat that? Panch can make God laugh. Right? But that's not the whole goal. So anyway, so there is Pancharatra Vidhi. So according to the Pancharatra Vidhi, you should do. Most of the temples these days, they're not doing that. Is it not useful to go to a temple? No, you should still go to a temple. Go to a temple, there is Archa Vigraha. If it's making you remember God, go there and sit. Right? But don't go to temple for what is it, vibrations. People say, why do you go to a temple? I get vibrations, कोई vibration नहीं आता होगा. It's your feeling है. वहां जाके बैठो, पढ़ो, Bhagavad Gita पढ़ो, Bhagavatam पढ़ो, सुनो. There is a Pitham. Actually, every temple has a Pitham. It's established in a Pitham. Pitham means Vyasasana, something like this, right? Obviously, better made. This is not like a Pakka Pitham, but I use it like this. But there is a Pitham. On that, there is a Brahman. On that, there is a Guru who sits and he gives pravachan all the time. So you go to temple, so you can sit down and hear. Why do you think we sit in the temple? There is a ritual, right? Now almost it becomes like a ritual. Baithe nahi baithe. Chalo bhagavad, fir se. That's not the reason you sit there. You sit there to hear, not to get vibrations. So you sit there, hear to katha, and develop your attachment to Narayan. That is the whole purpose. Right? So there is a lot of people are not following it today. So that is the reason in Kali Yuga, Archa Vigraha Aradhana is very difficult. Deity worship is very difficult. So what is the Yuga Dharma of Kali Yuga? Chanting the names of Hari. Right? Please repeat after me. Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nameva Kevalam, Kalau, Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gatranyatha. It's told 3 times. No other way, no other way, no other way. Kali Yuga mein koi sunte nahi hai. No other way, no other way is probably. 3rd time only they listen. Harer Nama, Harer Nameva Kevalam. Hai ki nahi? So, only by chanting the names, only by chanting the holy names, only by chanting the holy names. Now, which name should I chant? Prabhuji, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya chalega. Chalega. Om Namo Shivaya chalega. No problem. Holy names. Ultimately, it has to be name of God. Right? Yes. Lord Shiva is a devotee of Lord Vishnu. So, no problem. Chant his name. He'll be very happy. He'll come and chant Hare Krishna mantra. So, what is the prominence of Hare Krishna mantra? That also I discussed in that half-an-hour seminar that I had given you recording for. What is it? It is given by Swayam Krishna. Swayam Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He gave this mantra itself. Actually, the Vedas, the mantra is Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. But the Vedas are not supposed to be read by Shudras, because they might misspell it and they might get other effects. It's not like they're not qualified to. Right? Shudras are also very much qualified, like Brahmana, Vaishya, Shudra, Kshatriya. All of them can chant. But they should chant under the guidance of a Brahmana. They should not just chant anything. That is the reason. Caste system is not to bring down people. It is to allow people to do it properly. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave this mantra, immediately all the Brahmanas came and told, no, you cannot give this Vedas. How can you give it to common people? Then Krishna he is God himself. He can change anything. He can change mantra also. He just reversed it, saying that Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Now what is the problem? So, but no, there is no but. Ho gaya khatam. I gave the mantra. So that is the reason, and this mantra is given by Krishna himself. And I've told you the power of this mantra, right? You do Vishnu Sahasranama with devotion, and you chant one name of Rama with devotion. It's equal the same. Doesn't mean that you stop chanting Vishnu Sahasranama. It only means you should chant the name of Ram also sincerely. Then only it's equal. Aisa nahi ki Ram ho gaya Vishnu Sahasranama. Nahi. With devotion, Ram, like Hanuman chants Ram's name, right? Like that. So, who told this that one Vishnu Sahasranama is equal to one name of Ram? Anybody who did the homework behind on the chairs? Yes, Madhu, who told? Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane. Who told this? Lord Shiva told to Parvati. Yeah, he looked at Lord Shiva looked at Kellapur, Madhapur. He looked, nahi karenge Vishnu Sahasranama. टाइम नहीं इनके पास, मरते रहेंगे अप्रेजल के लिए. So he decided, Parvati, इनको राम का नाम देते हैं, पागल लोग ये लोग नहीं करेंगे. So he knew that. So according to Kali Yuga, he changed it. Lord Shiva told Ram का नाम लो. When you die in Kashi, When you die in Kashi, what do you think Lord Shiva does? He comes and chants the name of Ram in your ear. He takes you back to Ram's abode. That is the reason people want to die in Kashi, right? So, and Brahmanda Puran says one name of Krishna is equal to 3 names of Ram. So when you say Krishna with devotion, that's equal to 3 names of Ram, which is equal to 3 Vishnu Sahasranams, right? So how many Vishnu Sahasranams are there in one Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. How many Rams are there? 4 Rams are there. 4 Rams is equal to 4 Vishnu Sahasranams. How many Krishnas are there? 4. 4 into 3? 12. So 12. So 12 plus 4, total 16 Vishnu Sahasranam. 16 times you are doing Vishnu Sahasranam, which is equal to 16,000 names of Krishna. But you should do it with faith and devotion. These are all calculations. But calculations work when there is right bhava. Bhavam is very important. Bhava grahi janardana. Right? He sees the bhav. He doesn't see what you are doing. So what is the bhav? What is the consciousness we should have when we are chanting? Trinadapi sunichena, tarorapi sahishnuna, amananiya manadena, kirtanaya sadahari. When such a person does kirtan, then that 16 syllables are equal to 16 Vishnu Sahasranamas. So what is the meaning of this mantra? Trinadapi sunichena. Be more humble than a blade of grass. Don't fight for everything. Just services, right? All this housekeeping, gardening, security, pura. So we did it for 2 gated communities. So there is one villa community in Telapur. So one owner came to me. So he started complaining. I said, "Kya ho gaya? The security is bad. Change them." I said, "What is the problem?" "No, that fellow is not doing salute to me. Whenever I'm coming, he's not doing salute. I'm standing, I'm like, do salute to me. He's not doing salute." Then I called that security fellow. I said, "Boss, wo jab aata hai salute karo." "Sir, दुनिया में किसी को भी करूंगा, उसको नहीं करूंगा." मैंने डिसाइडेड ये मेरे से नहीं होगा. हाँ, it's in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Yes. Trinadapi sunichena, tarorapi sahishnuna, amananiya manadena, kirtanaya. So it's actually Shishtashtaka prayers, which is part of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Yeah. So we should learn to be humble, we should learn to be respectful, we should learn to be tolerant, and don't expect to return any respect. Don't expect. Okay? So that means then when you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then Krishna will dance on your tongue. Krishna will dance on your tongue. Right? There is a greatness of great devotees. So then that Hare Krishna mantra has that effect. So does it mean we should not chant now? We should chant now. Chant now and understand this is a Maha Mantra. And so many people change, na? So many people change when they do Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. The effect is there. You can see so many devotees of ISKCON, so much transformed in life. I can't imagine my own friends. A lot of friends left me because they could not digest that this fellow came to devotion. It was very difficult. Hare Krishna Mantra has that effect. I'm telling you. Just do Hare Krishna Mantra for 6 months, 16 rounds a day. All your bad habits will go. All of them will go without any effort. That's why we don't discuss about bad habits, good habits when we come to satsang. We just say chant. Karo chanting. And the name of God has that effect. Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti. The whole energy of God is there in that name. Rama, Krishna. There is a whole energy is there, right? So when you chant that, transformation will automatically happen. Cheto Darpan Marjanam, Bhavamaha Dvavakya Nirvapanam means what? Darpan. Darpan means what? Mirror. Mirror is filled with dust. You can't see your face. But when you chant the holy names, the dust is cleared. And then you can see your face. So that is the reason chanting of Hare Krishna Mantra is not an option, or chanting of holy names is not an option. You have to chant them every day in order to understand Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, it will not go. It will not go. Chanting God's names. Whatever God name that you are chanting, chant it with devotion. It should be with devotion. There should be not like ritual. हाँ खत्म किया रख दिया. Right? Chanting कर रहे हैं, भीड़ नहीं आ रहा है, कब आएगा, इतना देर हो गया, क्यों नहीं आ रहा है? Right? No, you should not do like that. जब पूरा राउंड होते हैं, इसको बरी कर दो, इसको रख दो वहाँ पे, कल सुबह तक छूना नहीं इसको, हो गया, खत्म. You should chant for every given. Today is Ekadashi. Right? Very, very nice day to chant. You should chant more rounds today. Right? Wherever you go, take your chanting back. Right? I call this my, my, what क्या बोलते हैं? Stun gun. अंदर चलते रहता है. Beat चलते रहता है. You can do that, yeah. So anyway, so you all have done your homework. I'm very grateful. So next, are you okay listening to what I'm sending? You have to tolerate that sound, that voice. Unfortunately, it's my voice, but it is useful. The information is useful. It's not my information. I'm not any guru to give anything. I'm just repeating what the great gurus have given. The next session I'm going to send is, does God exist? Please make your children also listen. That's a very important session. How do you prove that God exists? Right? And like that, there is a whole sequence, 12 sessions. You have to finish the 12 sessions. Then you'll understand Bhagavad Gita properly. Otherwise, very difficult. Very difficult. Okay. So Bhishma Dev has blown his shank. Now let us see who else will blow their shanks. Shloka number 13, 1.13. Tata shankascha Veryascha Panavanaka Gomukha Sahashaiva Vyahantyanta. No, I'll divide that 1 second. Saha, 1 second. We can go to word. Yeah. Can somebody help me? Since these shlokas I'm not really. Sahashaiva Vyahanyanta Sa Sabdas Tumulo Abhavat. Yeah. Read the translation. After that, the conch shells, drums, bungles, trumpets, and horns were all suddenly sounded. And the combined sound was tumultuous. Yeah. So these are all sounds made in the war field. They also bring all that, dun dun dun, pura say, dol marke. They start the war. It's a very, very appealing thing for the opposite side. There is also competition in that. Who does more sound, right? Who creates more sound? Yeah. Let's go to the next shloka. Shloka number 14. Tata shvetair hayair yukte Mahati Syadhane Stitau Madhva Pandavaschaiva Divyau Shankau Pradhatmato. Yes. Translation. On the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjuna, stationed on a great chariot, drawn by white horses, sounded their transcendental conch shells. Yeah. Let me read the purport. Please focus. In contrast with the conch shell blown by Bhishma Deva, the conch shells in the hands of Krishna and Arjuna are described as transcendental. The sounding of the transcendental conch shells indicated that there was no hope of victory for the other side because Krishna was on the side of the Pandavas. Jayastu Pandu Putranam Yesham Pakshe Janardhanaha. Victory is always with persons like the sons of Pandu, with persons like the sons of Pandu, because Lord Krishna is associated with them. And whenever and wherever the Lord is present, the goddess of fortune is also there, because the goddess of fortune never lives alone without her husband. Therefore, victory and fortune were awaiting Arjuna, as indicated by the transcendental sound produced by the conch shell of Vishnu or Lord Krishna. Besides that, the chariot on which both the friends were seated had been donated by Agni, the fire god, to Arjuna. And this indicated that this chariot was capable of conquering all sides whenever it was drawn over the three worlds. The chariot itself was given by Agni. When was it given by Agni there? When the Khanda Prastha, the whole half of kingdom was given to Pandavas, the Khanda Prastha, which they made it into Indraprastha. When the fire was invoked at that time, fire god was very happy because a lot of ghee was put into the fire and he was very happy. So the fire god became very happy and he gave that big chariot. It can go in any direction. Fire, how does the fire spread? It can go anywhere. Similarly, Arjun's chariot can go anywhere, in all directions, right? Like when you say Dasharatha, right? Dasharatha means in 10 directions the chariot can go up Dasharatha. Dashrath, like 10 chariots it can go. So this can go in even more number of directions. It can go up, down, any side, right? So very, very powerful chariot. Now here, one of the things that you should understand, that who is blowing the conch shell from the Pandava side?
Krishna.
Lord Krishna and Arjuna. Who blew it from the Kaurava side? Bhishma is the superintendent of the army, right? He is the Senapati of the army. But Krishna and Arjuna are not Senapati. How come? Who is the Senapati of Pandava army? Drishtadyumna, right? The son of Drupada. He is the main person. How come he is not blowing? Actually, Bhishma should blow, then he should blow, right? No. In the Pandava side, even though there is a Senapati, but they all consider Krishna as the real Senapati. Even though he's not going to lift any weapons, but they are like, Krishna, you do the, auspicious beginning of the war, right? So Krishna blew his conch shell, and it's called transcendental. The word transcendental means beyond time and space, which is not limited to any time and space. The subject matters which are beyond time and space, like spiritual subjects, what we're going to discuss as we go further in Bhagavad Gita, the existence of soul, the soul cannot be destroyed. All these are topics which are beyond time and space, eternal topics. The word transcendental is used there. So transcendental conch shell, meaning the sound that it makes is beyond time and space. So because that word is used, that means they are most auspicious, right? Any questions in this verse? Anybody? Okay, let's go forward. Panchajanyan Hirshikesho Devadattam Dhananjaya Poundram Tatmau Mahashankham Bhima Karma Vrukodhara. Panchajanyam means what? The conch shell named as Panchajanya. Panchajanya is a conch shell that was given by a demon. His name was Panchajanya. And now why a demon is giving to Krishna? Because Krishna killed the demon. And why did Krishna kill the demon? Because after Krishna finished his education, where? In whose ashram? Sandipani ashram. Where is that Sandipani ashram now? What is the location where Krishna finished his graduation? Ujjain. Yes, Ujjain. Ujjain is a place. So all these places exist, right? So people who say the word mythology is not mythology, it's history. History has a place name also. And there the location is there. Even now Sandipani Muni ashram is there. You should go to Ujjain someday. So there Krishna finished his education. After finishing education, he wanted to give Guru Dakshina. So his Guru, Sandipani Muni, his Guru's wife, she actually requested Krishna that my son was taken away by sea, and I want my son back. Can you bring him back? So Krishna has the greatest, he can go any number of births back and he can do it. They know who is Krishna. So they didn't ask for any Guru Dakshina, give me 1,000 square acres in Madhapur or something. That's useless thing. That give me back my son. And Krishna could do that. He went down all the way and he went to Patala, he saw, and then he went to Yamaloka, then he went to the right place. I forgot the exact name of the place where he finally found his son. And then he brought him back. But when he went down to the sea, he killed this particular demon. And that conch shell was given as a conch shell that he is going to use to start the war of Mahabharata, which is called Panchajanya conch shell. And Devadattam, Devadatta is Arjun Blue is Devadatta. That's another conch shell. And Bhima also. So translation, we have not read the translation, right? Let's see the translation. Lord Krishna blew his conch shell
Lord Krishna blew his conch shell
called Panchajanya. Arjuna blew his the Devadatta. And Bhima, the voracious eater and performer of Herculean tasks, blew his terrific conch shell called Poundra. Yeah, so Bhima's conch shell name is Poundra. Everything had a name. That's amazing. And Mahakalapuri. Mahakalapuri is the place where finally Krishna found Sandipani Muni's son. That's the place. Yeah. So here, why is Bhima being called the voracious eater? Yeah. So Bhima likes to eat. Bhima likes to eat. He's fond of eating. His Jatragni never stops. We all have Jatragni. You know what is Jatragni? There is a lit of fire that is always burning, that gets lit when the hunger is more. Right? And fire is burning, immediately we need to eat something. You don't eat when you're hungry, what comes? Once Srila Prabhupada, our Acharya, ISKCON, founder Acharya of ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada. So he was waiting for his lunch, and Matajis were preparing that, and it was getting prepared. So it got a little late. So the lunch is offered to Krishna, Rajbhog, then it comes to Prabhupada. The whole thing became late. And Prabhupada, when the lunch came late, Prabhupada shouted, "What is this? You should bring on time." And immediately Mataji started crying. Then somebody wondered, why is Prabhupada so much behind food? Like that. Some people think like that. Then Prabhupada told, see, Prabhupada's life was very important. He was translating. He had to live long. So he was only thinking in some service to Krishna. If he told that if I don't eat when I'm hungry, then it produces disease. The same Jatragni, when you don't eat, produces disease. So never get into upavasas when it is not recommended as per Shastra. For example, in Ekadashi you can do. Ekadashi you can do upavasa. But don't do upavasa whenever you want. Husband and wife fight it. Husband is doing upavasa. Or wife is doing upavasa. Some political leader is doing upavasa outside. That is actually sin. When you do upavasa, according to your own whimsical thinking, that's actually creating sin. Why it is a sin? Because this body is whose? You created it? Your parents created it? Really? No, it is not created even by your parents. It came out, right? It's not like we came out and your father fitted your hand this side, like this side. No, the whole thing came out as it is, isn't it? So we should take care of this body. And doing upavas at a wrong time can affect your body. So you are dealing with somebody else's property, which is God's property. So you should be very, very careful in selecting the time of upavas and everything. You had a question, Tom? Yeah? Yeah. So whimsically don't do anything. That's the whole point. The fasting, this fasting, that fasting. Do it, but do it with when you're hungry, you should eat. Otherwise it produces disease. Yeah. So voracious eater, he's called voracious eater because his Jatragni never goes down. All the time it is full flame. Right? So even Kunti, when she was telling Draupadi that when we are going on Vanavas for the 13 years of exile, at that time she was telling Draupadi that please take care of my Bhim. At least 50% of whatever you cook goes to Bhim. Right? So she'll cook this much, half will go to Bhim, half will go to the remaining Pandavas. Like that. And Bhima as such was a very strong person right from his childhood. It is explained Pandu and Kunti were once sitting on a hilltop and they were playing with Bhim, little Bhim, like maybe 1-year-old Bhim or something, very child, infant. And suddenly he slipped from Kunti's hands. He did something and he slipped and literally fell from a cliff. They said they thought he's dead. There's no way he can. They went down, they saw the rock is broken. This fellow is nicely playing down. So that was Bhim. Bhim as such is a very, very strong person and he needs more food also. And the best job that he could take up when he was in Vanvas was what? Rasoi. Cook. He became a cook in Virat Raj's kingdom because that's the place he likes to be. That's why, normally Ekadashi means we don't eat. We don't eat grain. Why? Because grain keeps water. Grain retains water. When you cook rice or any of the grain, it keeps the water inside. And when you eat, the water is inside your body for a long time. Right? On Ekadashi day, the moon comes closer to the Earth planet. The moment it comes closer to the Earth planet, there are huge waves in the ocean. If you go on tides, like huge tides, not normal, like it will be very abnormal tides. So when there are tides happening in the ocean, why can't tides happen in your body also? That is the reason we don't retain water on Ekadashi. Water has to go out. So if you eat sabudana, samo, bhagar, it will not retain water. It will immediately go out. Right? Best is not to eat anything, not to drink anything. But if that is not possible, you can eat some, roots like sabudana and all that. So, Bhima, when he was told you should do Ekadashi, he said, no, I cannot do Ekadashi. Ekadashi is very difficult for Bhima. So Krishna gave exception to Bhima. He said, okay, you don't have to do Ekadashis. How many Ekadashis come? Every 15 days. Monthly, 12 months, 24. It was 24 Ekadashis. Right? So Bhima was given exception. He said, Krishna told, okay, you can't do any Ekadashi, but you can do one Ekadashi. And that Ekadashi is called Pandav Nirjal Ekadashi. You should not drink even water that day. That one Ekadashi do properly, that's equal to doing all the Ekadashis. So that Ekadashi will come sometime in June, July. Devotees are all thinking about meditating. Baap re, us din pani bhi nahi pina. And it comes almost as summer time. Not easy. Some devotees sit down in the AC in the room. Pura din bahar nahi nikalenge. Chanting that day. Like that. People do different kinds of things. But anyway, point is, if you're not following other Ekadashi, you do one that Ekadashi properly, is equal to doing all the Ekadashi. So Bhima is a voracious eater. He can't compromise on food. Right? And so he takes more responsibility also. Who is the person who killed the maximum number of people from Pandava's side? Bhima only. The more you eat, the more responsibility also you take. He killed all the Kauravas also. All the sons of Drashta, he only killed. Chun chun ke mara keko. So, yeah. Let's read the purport. Please focus as I read the purport. It's a little long one, but there are a lot of things that Lord Krishna explains. Lord Krishna is referred to as Rishikesha in this verse because he is the owner of the senses. Rishik means senses. Akesha means the one who controls all the senses. For example, our tongue, our eyes, our skin, touch, and our ears. They're all senses. You cannot control them. But when you worship Rishikesha, he can control your senses. That is the reason we chant. When we chant, we can control the senses. The living entities are part and parcel of him, and therefore the senses of the living entities are also part and parcel of his senses. The impersonalists cannot account for the senses of the living entities, and therefore they're always anxious to describe all the living entities as senseless or impersonal. The Lord, situated in the heart of all living entities, directs their senses. But he directs in terms of surrender of the living entity. And in case of the pure devotee, he directly controls the senses. Here on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the Lord directly controls the transcendental sense of Arjuna, and thus his name is called Rishikesha. The Lord has different names according to his different activities. For example, his name is Madhusudana because he killed the demon of the name Madhu. His name is Govinda because he gives pleasure to the cows and to the senses. His name is Vasudeva because he appeared as the son of Vasudeva. His name is Devaki Nandana because he accepted Devaki as his mother. His name is Yashoda Nandana because he awarded his childhood pastimes to Yashoda at Vrindavana. His name is Partha Sarathi because he worked as charioteer to his friend Arjuna. Similarly, his name is Rishikesha because he gave direction to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. You understanding? He was completely controlling the senses of Arjuna. That is the reason his name is Rishikesha, like that. Arjuna is referred as Dhananjaya in this verse because he helped his elder brother by fetching wealth, which was required by the king to make expenses of different sacrifices. Right? So when the Rajsu Yajna was happening, Pandavas went in 4 directions. Arjuna went in north direction. And there was a great king who used to live in the place called Norway now. It's called Norway now. And he had lots of gold. So he defeated that king and brought all that gold from Norway to India. So that is the reason he is called Dhananjaya, the one who conquered wealth. Like that. Similarly, Bhima is known as Vrukodhara because he could eat as voraciously as he could perform Herculean tasks, such as killing the demon Hidimba. So the particular types of conch shell blown by different personalities on the side of Pandavas, beginning with the lords, were all very encouraging to the fighting soldiers. On the other side, there were no such credits, nor the presence of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Director, nor that of the Goddess of Fortune. So they were predestined to lose the battle. And that was a message announced by the sounds of the conch shells. Right? So there is a name. You should understand that every name that is used in Bhagavad Gita at different times has a particular significance. There is a whole series of lectures given by my senior godbrother. His name is Chaitanya Charan Prabhu. He gave a whole lecture on why a particular name is used in a particular chapter, a particular verse. There is a context, right? Sometimes Krishna addresses Arjuna as Dhananjaya while he's speaking. Sometimes he addresses him as Pritha. Pritha means the son of Kunti. Son of Kunti. Or Kaunteya. He addresses like that. Why? See, when Krishna wants Arjuna to immediately follow what he's telling, he'll tell Kaunteya. Why? Because Kunti is a devotee of Krishna. And he says that your mother is anyway devotee, so you also better follow. So he has a way of influencing. Every name has a reason why they use that particular name. Right? Even Krishna's name is used when Arjuna is speaking to Krishna, he uses a certain name of Krishna because that name is very, very important at that particular point. You know, he wants to influence Krishna on certain aspects. So as we go through Bhagavad Gita, I'll tell you why a name is being used for what reason. Right? So take 16 into 18, right? Ananta Vijayam Raja Kunti.
Ananta Vijayam Rajakunti.
Sorry, Ananta Vijayam Raja
Raja
Kunti Putro Yudhishthira
Kunti Putro Yudhishthira
Nakula Sadevascha
Tulasa
Sughosha Manipushpakau
Sugosha Manipushpakau
Kashyaicha Parameshvascha Shikandicha Maharatha
Shigandicha Maharatha
Drustajumno Viratascha
Drishtadyumno Viratasya
Satyakis Cha Parajita Drupadau Draupadeyascha
Drupado Drupadesya
Sarvasha Prithivepate Saubhadrascha Mahabaho Shankhan Dadmo Pratak Pratak. Translation. King Yudhishthira,
King Yudhishthira,
the son of Kunti,
the son of Kunti,
blew his conch shell, the Ananta Vijaya. And Nakula and Sahadeva blew the Saghosha and Manipushpaka.
blew the Sugosha and
The great archer of the king of Kashi,
the great archer, the king of Kashi,
the great fighter Shikandi,
the great fighter Shikandi,
Drushtadumna,
Drishtadyumna,
Virata,
Virat,
the unconquerable Satyaki,
the unconquerable Satyaki,
Draupada,
Drupad,
the sons of Draupadi,
the sons of Draupadi,
and the others.
and the others.
O king,
O king,
such as the mighty armed son of Subhadra,
since the mighty arms son of Subhadra,
all blew their respective conch shells.
all do their respective functions.
Perfect. Sanjay informed King Yudhishthira, King Dhritarashtra very tactfully that his unwise policy of deceiving the sons of Pandu and endeavoring to enthrone his own sons on the seat of the kingdom was not very laudable. The signs already clearly indicated that the whole Kuru dynasty would be killed in that great battle, beginning with the grandshare Bhishma down to the grandsons like Abhimanyu and others, including kings of many from many states of the world. All were present there and all were doomed. The whole catastrophe was due to King Dhritarashtra because he encouraged the policy followed by his sons. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so all these great conch shells were blown. One of the important thing is in the third verse of the 16 to 18, the 18th verse, it's told Prithvi Pate. Prithvi Pate, meaning there were emperors who were ruling the entire Prithvi also. Right? Don't think that they were all separated nations. Actually, India was this particular Bharat was like the center point from where the whole world was controlled. Whole world was controlled. If you even now, how many have gone to Grand Canyon? Anybody who has gone to Grand Canyon? Heard of Grand Canyon? Yeah. So it's the biggest hole on the planet. So it's a big hole. That's all it is. But when you go to Grand Canyon, you will see 3 temples in Grand Canyon where the old American citizens worship. And the 3 temples are Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. And they're there for thousands of years. How is it possible? Right? The signs of Parashurama going to every single part of the world are still can be found. I have a book which shows so many places the Parashurama signs are there. In Indonesia, there are so many temples, bigger than Indian temples.
Cambodia.
Sanatan Dharma was all over the planet. It's just that we are blinded because of our stupid history books that CBSE, ICSE has given. If you keep that aside and actually go and see, Sanatan Dharma was prevalent all throughout the world. There was no Christianity, there was no Islam. These all things came later, and they had a motive for coming. Muhammad gave, Islam at that particular region because that particular region needed it, right? And Christianity, whatever was revealed, there was a purpose for that particular region. But the dharma of the whole planet was Sanatan Dharma. Everything else came later. Sanatan Dharma was established. The main university was India. The consciousness was spread out of India, right? But this thing is not told to us. We feel inferior now. Actually, we are made to feel inferior somehow. Anyway, that's a big topic. There is a series of books. You can buy this. It's called The Beautiful Tree. The Beautiful Tree. You'll find 5 books in that. 5 books. Small books, but good enough. It was written by a person named Dharampal. Have you heard of the name Dharampal? He's one of the scientists in India and a great author also. So Dharampal ji actually wrote these books, and one of his followers is the speaker who speaks a lot of things on Ayurveda and this and that. He speaks. Unka naam kya hai?
Rajiv Dixit.
Rajiv Dixit. Rajiv Dixit is one of the followers of Dharampal. So there are many followers of Dharampal. Actually, a lot of people got this knowledge of what happened before British conquered us and what happened during British conquering. All that, how the education system was changed, all that is written by Dharampal ji in his 5 books. And how did he find out? He went to United Kingdom and they have Right to Information Act, ROI. So he went there and he pulled out the letters. He literally pulled out the letters that were written in 1800s, 1700s from British to India. And those letters are even now saved, right? Even now they are saved. So how they conquered India, the episode is all documented. And what India was in 1800, 1700, when they say it is a golden peacock, how did they say that? It's all documented. When you read that, you'll actually understand what we used to be. But all that is kept aside, and all our history books, all they have is Aurangzeb, Shah Jahan, Babar, Akbar. These are the people who are kept there. There is a purpose behind it. See, very simply, if 15 years of education is changed, 15 years of education is changed, your entire country will change. 15 saal mein sab badalta hai. And you know how many years they changed, British? 50 years they changed. 50 years of education was butchered in India. How did they butcher? They introduced English as the only way to educate. And when they introduced English as a compulsory mandatory language, all the Gurukulas in India shut down. Because none of the Acharyas wanted to teach in English. Telugu people taught in Telugu, Sanskrit people taught in Sanskrit, right? Like Punjabi in the north, whatever language, the local language is what the Gurukuls ran. Gurukuls never ran on single language. Hindi was also not like a mandatory language everywhere. Tamilians were taught in Tamil. But Britishers told everybody should be taught in English. All the Acharyas left. And then the next set of teachers, they came with a motive and they changed the entire civilization. What we are told, what we are, is completely not what we are. We were actually the rulers of the whole world. Right? Ruler doesn't have to be with weaponry. Ruler is by his values. You can see a reflection of that. When COVID came, who supplied free vaccine to the whole world? Free vaccine. Who supplied? India only supplied. Nobody else supplied free vaccine. Because that is how we are brought. Vasudeva Kutumbakam. We see everybody as part of us. That is our culture. So that is how Mahabharata, Prithvi Pathe. The rulers were there in India. From here, the emperors. If actually, when you read Vedas, especially Rig Veda, you will see a lot of explanation of how the Europe was formed, what kind of kings went there. There was a king who was cursed, his sons were sent to this region, how the Middle Eastern side was formed, how the East Asian countries were formed. All this is documented. It's not like it's not there. It's there. Everything is there. But we have been, what did the Mughal kings do as soon as they came? They burnt all the libraries in India. They literally burnt all the libraries. So the history has to be killed. When you want to change something, history has to be killed. That's exactly what they did. Now, how do you go and prove? Now, you'll say Japan was also ruled by. How will you say Japan was ruled? There was proof, but the proof you have got it. And most of the Vedas at that time were shifted to Germany. Germany has a lot of Vedic scriptures, even those old scriptures are there, even right now. Because they understand the meaning, the greatness. Who has the patents of cow urine and cow dung? US. They know that in future, this is the only medicine that's going to save people. So they knew that. So a lot of things are there. Anyway, it's a big subject matter. But if you're interested to know what India was and how it was conquered, how everything was removed, there are 5 books called The Beautiful Tree. You can buy that, written by Dharampal. You can buy that in Google. Right? As a side topic, you can learn that. Shloka number 19. Sagosho Dhritarashtanam Hidayani Vyadharayat Nabhascha Prithvimschaiva Tumulo Abhyanunadhayan. Yes. Repeat after me. The blowing of these different conch shells became uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. It shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. See, nowhere it is mentioned hearts of Pandavas were shattered. Right? Bhagavad Gita only says the hearts of Kauravas were shattered because they were so, it was really, sound was so huge that people get scared. Right? See, when people are angry, what they do? They shout, no? Right? They try to dominate with that noise, the sound itself. Sound itself is a very big force. And if the sound is too much, people get scared with it. Okay? So, Hridayani means heart or emotional balance was shaken, Dhritarashtra's. Yeah. So, Tumulo, all the happiness of the Kurus got affected. Yeah. So, here, there is a son of Shakuni. What is his name? Uloka. Uloka is his son. So the father, so the son. So the father is a sarcastic cheater. Now his son also is king of sarcasm. Right? So just before the war, Uloka was sent by Kauravas to Pandavas' place. So he insults all the Pandavas. That was the only goal. He was not like a Duta. He came just to insult the Pandavas. And the Pandavas' emotions were shaken. Literally, they felt like killing Uloka. Then Krishna told, no. Don't kill him. He is sent for that purpose. He is a Duta. You cannot kill the Duta. So Uloka, you can go. Now here it is being mentioned. Now the emotions of Kauravas are shaken. Right? That time the emotions of Pandavas were shaken by Uloka. Now here the emotions of Kauravas are shaken just by the blowing of the conch shells. He'll explain. Purport. When Bhishma and the others on the side of Duryodhana blew their respective conch shells, there was no heartbreaking on the part of the Pandavas. Such occurrences are not mentioned. But in the particular verse, it is mentioned the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra were shattered by the sounds vibrated by the Pandavas party. It is due to the Pandavas and their confidence in Lord Krishna. One who takes shelter of the Supreme Lord has nothing to fear, even in the midst of the greatest calamity. Yeah. Shloka number 20. Any questions here? Anybody? Yeah. Okay. Shloka number 20. Atha vyavasthitan dristva Dhritarashtran kapidvaja Prithve sahasre sampate Dhanur udyamya pandava Rishikesham tada vyakyam idam aha mahipate. Repeat the translation. At that time Arjuna, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot, bearing the flag, marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra, drawn in the military array, Arjuna then spoke to Krishna
Arjun then spoke to Lord Krishna
these words.
these words.
Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words. Yes. Purport. Please focus. The battle was just about to begin. It is understood from the above statement that the sons of Dhritarashtra were more or less disheartened by the unexpected arrangement of the military force by the Pandavas, who were guided by the direct instructions of Lord Krishna on the battlefield. The emblem of Hanuman on the flag of Arjuna is another sign of victory because Hanuman with Lord cooperated with Lord Rama in the battle between Rama and Ravana, and Lord Rama emerged victorious. Now both Rama and Hanuman were present on the chariot of Arjuna to help him. Lord Krishna is Rama himself, and wherever Lord Rama is, his eternal servitor Hanuman and his eternal consort Sita, the goddess of fortune, are present. Therefore, Arjuna has had no cause to fear any enemies whatsoever. And above all, the Lord of the senses, the Lord Krishna, was personally present to give him direction. Thus, all good counsel was available to Arjuna in the matter of executing the battle in such auspicious conditions arranged by the Lord for his eternal devotee lays the signs of assured victory. Hare Krishna. I'll repeat the translation. At that time, Arjuna, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot bearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took up the bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of the Dhritarashtra drawn in the military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words. Yeah. So here, Hanuman's presence is very, very important, right? It's Kapit Dvaja. Kapi means monkey, like that. So Hanumanji, we all know the greatness of Hanumanji, right? Hanumanji was given a lot of benedictions by all the devatas. When Indra shot down Hanumanji, because Hanumanji was going to eat Rahu like a black fruit. He was going to eat sun like an orange. In between Rahu came, there was eclipse happening. So in between he saw black fruit is better than red fruit. He took that black fruit. Immediately Indra came, hey, what is going on? Rahu started shouting, boss, I am doing my job. You asked me to create an eclipse. I am coming to do eclipse. Who is this monkey is coming and eating me? Immediately Indra threw his braja. And when that hit the chin of Hanuman, Hanuman fell down, fainted. So that's why his name is Hanu. Hanu means chin, broken chin. So Hanuman. So when Vayudev became very angry, why Hanumanji was brought down, then because Vayu is the one who gave birth to Hanumanji, presented Hanumanji to Anjani. So Vayudev stopped the entire Vayu in the whole planet. And everybody ran to Indra. Indra and everybody ran to Brahma saying, without air, what can we do? Then they said, okay, now you have to please Vayudev by giving benedictions to his son Hanuman. So they went and gave benedictions. So there were many, many benedictions that were given. One of the benediction was where Yamaraj came and told, Swayam Yama, he came and told Hanumanji that wherever you go, whichever battle you will fight, you will be victorious. There is no question of you not being victorious. So Hanuman is going to a war, means Pakka, that side will win. So now here look at the chariot of Hanuman, chariot of Arjuna. Hanuman is there on the flag, right? Hanumanji. Now why did he come on the flag? Two reasons, two incidents happened. One is when Pandavas were in Badrik Ashram area during their exile, that time Bhima got angry one day in a small discussion. Bhima gets angry very easily because he is so angry on Kauravas. And every time Yudhishthira told, no, we are doing Prayaschitta, I'm like, you do Prayaschitta, I'm not going to do Prayaschitta. I'm going to kill them, right? So Bhima, that angry mood, he was going angrily to a certain place. And on the way, Hanumanji was sitting there. Hanumanji wanted to teach him a lesson. That being angry doesn't mean you can insult everyone. He wanted to teach that lesson. So he kept his tail on the way. And Bhima said, remove the tail. Monkey, remove the tail. Hanumanji said, no, you remove the tail. So what do you mean you remove? You don't know who I am? I'm Panduputra Bhim. So whatever you are, you remove the tail. He tried to remove the tail. He could not remove the tail. Because that is Hanumanji's tail. Hanumanji's tail could not be removed by Ravana also, greatest of the warriors. So then he tried to remove the tail. Then he understood. Then immediately paid obeisances. You must be Hanumanji. Hanumanji told, bad. Tu mera chota bhai hai. I am Pawan Putra. You are also Pawan Putra. Sit down. So he told the whole explanation of how being powerful is good, but being responsible is also important, right? Along with the power comes responsibility. So he explained. Then Bhima asked, Hanumanji, please, हमारे तरफ war करो ना, पक्का होने वाला है war. War is going to happen. Please come into the war. Hanumanji told, if I come into the war, war will get over in half a day. So, and this is, by the way, not my time to do the war, but my blessings are with you. So I will be with you. I will be with you in the war, and I will do the needful. So what is the needful thing he did? He used to uproar, like he'll loudly he'll shout. So as soon as Bhima and all the chariots are coming forward, along the sound also will come forward. Hearing the sound only, Kauravas will run back. That is the amount of sound he used to create, uproaring sound, right? And it explained one more Purana. It is explained that Arjuna felt that I can do a better seva also. Just like Hanumanji did better seva, I can do better seva also. So in a small argument, he created a bridge with his arrows. He said, Hanumanji, you created a bridge for Rama to go to Lanka. I can also create a bridge which is strong enough, like that. So it's a transcendental discussion between devotees. Hanumanji said, what do you mean your bridge is strong? I can break your bridge like anything. He said, you try to break my bridge. He made a bridge. So Hanumanji went and stamped on the bridge. I was beating. Bridge was not breaking. Hanumanji said, what? What kind of bridge is this? He am not able to break. Then he went down and he saw, Lord Rama standing under the bridge and holding the bridge. So he felt so guilty. Oh my God, what did I do? I was trying to break the bridge and Lord Rama is protecting the bridge. Then he went in front of the Lord Rama. He saw it's actually Krishna. So Lord Krishna told, I am the same Krishna, I am the same Rama. What you both are fighting? You both are my devotees only. You both are supposed to serve me. That's all you have to do. No competition. So there, Hanumanji told Arjun that I am with you, Arjun. Whenever you are trying to serve your Supreme Lord Krishna, he is equal to my Lord Ram. So I will be on the chariot. So he became the flag on the chariot, Kapit Dvaja. Right? So that's the reason the flag of Arjuna exclusively has that flag of Kapit Dvaja. Like that. So that is the reason. I mean, if you really look at it, you should have some common sense to fight with Pandavas. Right? Hanumanji is on their side. Lord Krishna is on their side. Kaun panga leta hai But still, isliye the Murk Putra Duryodhana is Murk. He will not understand even if anybody advises not to fight. Yeah. So any questions? Anybody? So you can take little prasadam. Somebody can serve you, right? Srinivas, just give one plate of prasad. Yeah. Any questions? No questions? Yes, brother.
What was the sound they got scared of?
What was the sound? The sounds of the conch shells of Pandavas. Conch shells. The sounds were so loud that the sound itself can scare you. How many of you know that sound can scare you? Does sound scare you? If somebody has a doubt, go and stand in front of a lorry. Just imagine 20 million lorries. And that was the sound that was coming in front of Kauravas. Just by hearing the sound, they get scared. Once I encountered, I'll just share this. Once I was, we were traveling in US and we went to this place called, San Francisco. There you have this bay water, the Alcatraz, Alcatraz. There is island. There is a Pier 13 or something they call. There is a whole shops there. Pier 13? 31, some very famous pier. All shopping complex have. So their point is, they do a show once in a year called the Pier 13 festival. Some kind of thing happens, and there are flights. The planes, they come and do the show there. Army planes, and they're called the Blue Angels. Blue Angels. So these planes are like exclusive pilots. Not every pilot. There is a movie of what is it? Tom Cruise called Top Gun, right? So such pilots are selected to do that particular thing. The reason I'm telling all this, it's not part of Bhagavad Gita, that when the plane goes, literally they go at such a speed, unbelievable speed they go, and they go like 2-3 feet away from each other. 4 or 5 planes will go. Even if one plane by mistake does a little like this, all the 5 will die. And so many times they have died also. They're called Blue Angels. So we were sitting there and we are seeing the blue angels, they'll go, like this. Literally so close to the water, they'll go under the Golden Gate Bridge, they'll go above us. So they went, zoom, they went all over our heads, just went. And we were looking, the planes went so far away, and then the sound came. Right? The sound is not able to catch up with their speed. So the sound came. Literally, we felt that somebody hit our head from behind, parted like that. Like sound. So a lot of times when the things are very fast, very, very fast, the sound comes later. Right? So the sound here, what is being told is million times the sound of blue angels. Right? When they blew the conch shells, literally the sound, brought all the Kauravas back and they understood. It's not going to be easy. And think about Krishna blowing the conch shell, Panchajanya, how powerful it will be. So the next few verses are about, this section is called Krishna as Bhakta Vatsala. Right? From, I'll tell you, from verse number 1.21 to 27. It's called Krishna as Bhakta Vatsala. How Bhakta Vatsala means how friendly he is to his devotees. Right? So the section that we've just finished is called, from 12 to 20, is called the signs of victory. And before that, the preparation for war, 1 to 11. These are section names within the chapter. So Krishna is Bhakta Vatsala. What is the time now? Yeah, I think we should stop.
I have been seeing Bhagavad Gita. In that they showed that he gives the bow, Gandiva. But he gives. Then when does he give the bow?
Bow also gives at the same time. Chariot and the bow he gives. Gandiva. I'll tell a small thing about Gandiva. Now, Gandiva is, the special bow that is given by Agnidev. And that time he tells that, Arjuna tells that, anybody who asks me to keep this Gandiva down, I'm going to kill that person. Right? Because Gandiva should not be kept down. I mean, should not be, anybody cannot, for example, I cannot go and tell Arjuna, keep that Gandiva down. What kind of a warrior are you? Immediately I'll kill that fellow. That was the resolution that Arjuna took. Because that's like his pride, my Gandiva. And literally, if you string the Gandiva and pull the string, entire universe can hear. That kind of sound it makes. That was given by the Devatas. So it so happened that, that Pandavas many times they fought with each other. Kauravas never fought with each other. Pandavas many times they fought with each other. But the fight was for dharma. See, when you try to do some good lesson, you can learn out of this. Better. Yeah. So when you're trying to do something great, arguments happen. That's very common. You should not feel bewildered. Hey, we are trying to satsang kar rahe hain, argument kyun ho raha hai? Satsang mein hi argument hota hai. Because you're trying to do something great. Right? See, you try to control your senses. Then you have to do so many things to follow dharma. So there are so many arguments that happen. But when 10 drunkard people sit together, what argument they'll have? That is Kauravas. Right? Kauravas never had any problem with each other because all of them are bad people. There was no reason to fight. But when somebody wants to follow dharma, fights happen, arguments happen. So it so happened that when Karna was on the battlefield on the 15th day, if I'm right, 15th and 16th day, he was literally killing in thousands and millions. But one of the things that Arjuna was worried that if Yudhishthir will be captured. So he was all the time searching for Yudhishthir also. Arjuna was searching for Yudhishthir. And on the other side, Karna was killing the whole army. So at one time, Yudhishthir was so badly hit by arrows that he had so many wounds that he had to go for dressing in between. Normally, the dressing work happened at the end of the day. You go to your nursing home, beside the battlefield, you go there and get all dressed up and next day war, you're ready. But he was so much bleeding, Yudhishthir, that he had to go and dress it up. So he was not there on the battlefield. And as soon as he was not there on the battlefield, Arjuna started searching everywhere. Hey, where is my brother? Where is my brother? Did he get captured? He was like totally scared. And at that point, he told Krishna, can you take me to the place, the hospital place, where maybe my brother is there. I will take me there. So Krishna immediately took him to the place, to the nursing home, you can say, where he was being padded with all, he was getting fixed. So as soon as he went there, Yudhishthira looked at Arjuna and he's like, hey, what are you doing here? He said, brother, I just wanted to make sure you're there. What nonsense you are speaking? Yudhishthira got angry. Because Karna was killing in lakhs and crores on one side. He immediately said, Arjun, you should be in the battlefield fighting with Karna. You have come here, you know how many lakhs of people are killed there? Innocent soldiers are being killed in lakhs. How dare you come here? Arjuna was trying to explain that, no, I came here because I just wanted to. No, shut your mouth. Actually, you don't have guts to fight with Karna. That is the reason you're finding reasons to escape. Just imagine Yudhishthira saying this. You're running away from Karna. Just like that, you're giving a reason and coming here. What is the use of your life if you can't fight for your brother? Keep that Gandiva down, he told. He told, keep that Gandiva down. In that flow. And immediately what happened? Arjuna removed one arrow, pointed on Yudhishthira. Because he did a pratigya. That anybody who tells to keep my Gandiva down, I'm going to kill that fellow. Immediately Krishna, he came in between. Now to resolve another immediate. He can finish the war if he kills Yudhishthira, where is the war? It's over. And he's not going to stop. He's going to kill his brother also. Because he took a vow. Immediately Krishna came in. Hey, what are you doing? What is going on? And now he told to keep my Gandiva down. There is no reason I should stop from killing him. Because I took a vow in front of Agni Dev that I'm going to kill anybody who will keep my Gandiva down. Immediately Krishna had to think what to do now. So immediately he told Arjun, see Arjun, killing physically is one kind of pain, but killing emotionally is the other kind of pain. So you can also kill your brother by using, language that will make him totally depressed. That is equal to killing. As per Shastra, you can also do that. So immediately Arjuna said, okay, this seems to be okay. He kept the gun and he started, you brother, you put me on bed, you put my wife on bed, you put all the brothers on bed. What kind of this? You have no sense of responsibility of what you did. Everything he told. Then immediately Yudhishthira heard all that and said, now I don't feel like doing war only. I want to commit suicide. And Krishna, hey, what are you doing now? You have to still do the war. Don't worry about that. That is the reason you did Prayaschitta. 13 years you did now. That's okay. Done. Ho gaya. Now you do the war. So just imagine what all Krishna had to handle. Right? So Krishna has to handle a lot of things even in between devotees. Right? See, coming to Krishna conscious path is not easy. In today's day and time, sitting like this and hearing Bhagavad Gita is not easy. Kaun aata hai re baba, baith ke. Right? Because everybody are behind their senses. They want to enjoy their senses. They want to feel like the king. But here we are controlling the senses. Ekadashi mat khao. Chanting karo, karo. Kaun karega? Nahi karega. To come to this path, people also have a lot of, reservations. So that is the reason Krishna comes in between and resolves all the problems. So when you are saying who gave the Gandiva, I was remembering this story. That, that is how the Gandiva also has a big story. Why it was kept down, why it was lifted, what he did. So many things. Yeah. So thank you very much for your time. So the Mahabharata is very big. There's a lot of lessons from every story that we hear in Mahabharata. Now most of the Mahabharata is going to stop now as we get more into the philosophy. Right? The first 20 verses are a lot of introductions, a lot of people. A little more things will come. After that, the philosophy will start. Right? And hopefully you all will be prepared. But my humble request is whatever assignment I'm giving, please finish it. Because then you'll understand the next session properly. My goal is by the time you finish the second chapter, all your 12 sessions should get over. Because I'm going to start Karma Yoga from third chapter. For you to understand Karma Yoga, you need to finish those sessions. Right? Actually, SSR, the Science of Separation sessions that I've given are Bhagavad Gita only. 40% of Bhagavad Gita you finish just by finishing SSR. But you'll get the context correct. Right? Okay, so today evening, Prabhuji and Mataji, is a very nice, important day. As we speak, I'm going to send something in your WhatsApp. Please open your WhatsApp. I'm just going to forward it right now. Yeah, second. Yeah. You will see it coming into. Yeah. Here you go. Has it come? So His Holiness Bhakti Raghav Swami Maharaj is going to be here today. Right? Bhakti Raghav Swami Maharaj is going to be here. So he is, I'll tell briefly about him. 1 second. Yeah. So please start giving your counts. This count is for today evening. So close to 220 devotees are coming. So you all can also add your counts. It is going to happen in this hall, right in this building on the second floor. Right? In this hall, Maharaj will come. So he is one of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, one of the disciples, and he is Canada-born devotee, and he came to Krishna consciousness when he was very young. He in 1972 he met the devotees, and he was going with the devotees, and then he spent the first 8 years of his 10 years in Krishna consciousness spent in West Bengal, and he also started youth preaching in ISKCON, preaching to young people, and a very dynamic person. And he took up one of the instructions of Prabhupada is to establish Varnashrama. So he goes and establishes Goshalas, Gurukuls around the world. I'm going to show a lot of videos. Please come at 5 o'clock. I'm going to give a lot more introduction, a lot of videos, the kind of projects he's doing around the world. Around the world. In India, there are close to 4 or 5 farm communities. I've gone to one in Hebri in Karnataka, near to Udupi. It's a beautiful community. Not a single electricity is used there. Right? Prabhupada told that we should develop communities where we are self-sufficient in complete way and we are happy. Right? So cows, agriculture, everything going back to the old Varnashrama system. So he has done a lot of these things. We are going to bring our cows from my Goshala there today because he's coming. He likes to see the cows. And we'll have a grand welcome for Maharaj at between 5 to 7. He'll be here and he'll give a lecture also. I'll tell you one incident. Look at his devotion. There was in 1984, roughly if the year might be 1 or 2 years here and there. 84, there was dacoits who attacked in Mayapur. In Mayapur is a place near to Calcutta. That is where the big temple of ISKCON is there. So he was there in the temple, and that night when the dacoits attacked, he heard a lot of big noise coming, and a lot of people ran actually because dacoits come with guns and bombs, and they wanted to. They felt that there are some golden deities inside, so they wanted to capture the deities, the vigrahas. So he went forward and he tried to save the deities. And in that whole process, during the night time, the dacoit actually was throwing bombs, and literally it was like a war scene. And they threw the bomb exactly on his leg. And at that time, the bomb blasted on his leg, and he lost one leg. He doesn't have a leg, one leg, so he goes with the crutches. And people asked, he was literally on the ground bleeding to death, and there was so much, but he was chanting Hare Krishna mantra. He felt, okay, now I'm ready to go. I'm in Mayapur, I'm chanting Hare Krishna, I'm ready to go like that. But devotees picked him up and saved him. Then he took sannyas, and then he established so many Varnashrama colleges around the world. So he's very, very pure soul. You will not see people like that ordinarily. So he's visiting Hyderabad. He's in Hyderabad for 7 days. In that 7 days, on Sunday evening is a very important slot. So I somehow begged him that please give this slot to us. So he's coming today evening. My humble request is don't miss this opportunity. And there are a lot of books he has written on Varnashrama. If you want to buy those books, we're going to keep a stall of his books. You can even buy those books or present it to others. So he'll be here. So please give your counts. I've just sent it. Fata. +1, +2, +3, +2. Whatever that you're doing is helping. But my only request is give the count soon, so that we can plan properly. Right? So any questions? So it'll be here in the evening. We have evening prasadam dinner also. So you can come here and witness. And next week also is a very big week for us. I'm going to tell now itself because next week we are doing the same satsang, not in my home Krishe, but in my home Avatar. Where is my home Avatar? How many don't know where is my home Avatar? He doesn't know. Okay. So you can say Google my home Avatar. So my home Avatar, we have booked a big hall because there is His Grace Radhesham Prabhu, is my Siksha Guru, is coming. And we are distributing close to 309 Bhagavatam sets on a single day. So we do this once in a year event. So he's coming there. And we have distributed Bhagavatam sets. Bhagavad Gita is one book. Bhagavatam is 18 books, right? It's a whole Bhagavad Puran. This year we have distributed 180 Bhagavatam sets to 180 temples in Hyderabad. So we are going to get all the Brahmanas from those temples to come there and receive Bhagavatam. Why we are distributing Bhagavatam to temples? Because we want temple to actually become temples, where knowledge is taught, right? Like I was telling. So we have given free Bhagavatam. Each Bhagavatam set is close to 7,000 to 8,000 rupees. So we raised so much money, everybody donated, and we are giving this Bhagavatam set a very auspicious event. That is going to happen next week in Avatar, because Avatar Hall is a little bigger. First we wanted to do it in Krishe, but Krishe Hall will not support so many. So we are almost 400 plus, 400 to 500 people are going to come, families and everyone. So I invite all of you that the same session what we are having here will happen in Avatar. So you have to get up a little more early and go to Avatar, and we will tell you what to tell at the entry. I will mention. So you all can come directly to the Avatar Club, the clubhouse. We have booked the hall below in the ground floor. We can easily find it, right? So the same session will happen morning 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. We'll continue with our Bhagavad Gita. After 10 o'clock, at 11 o'clock, we are going to have brunch prasadam, which is going to be lunch and breakfast together, right? So all the people who are going to come for the event, they're going to have prasadam first, and then the event will start, right? So from 12 o'clock to 1:30, Radhesham Prabhu is going to give a speech. If you don't know who he is and how well he speaks, you will be amazed to see the kind of person. He's an IIT gold medalist almost 27 years ago. And when he talks, I mean, literally, he's a Bhagavatam speaking, right? Very intellectual. He has opened so many temples of ISKCON in India. And he also travels abroad, gives seminars in Harvard, MIT, so many places. So you should not miss his lecture. So that's from 12 o'clock to 1:30. From 1:30 onwards, we'll give the Bhagavatams to everyone. And then we'll wrap up around 4 o'clock. We'll wrap up. So next week is going to be a big week. This week is a big week for us in Satsang. In Gachibowli Satsang, we have many other families. This is a new batch. Like that, we have many batches. So they all are going to come at one place that day. So please come, and we'll have a lot of kirtan, a lot of dance, right? A lot of other activities also we'll do along with it. I am very excited. So I'm sharing with all of you. I'm sure you have choices to make, but to bring all this thing to happen, it takes a lot of effort. So don't miss this event is all I can tell, right? One more Sunday filled with spiritual bliss. So today evening also don't miss. I want the count because just want to make sure the prasadam is enough made. So everyone gets some session. Yeah. Hare Krishna. So we'll have Narsingarthi quick one. Today there were long announcements. I'm sorry. I stopped, but I kept on announcing. Hare Krishna. The shloka is there in the one page that I gave you, Narsingarthi, if you don't know. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Dana 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 Hiranyakashi Purvachana Nilakantana Kalare Ito Narsimho Parato Narsimho Yato Yato Yami Kato Narsimho Bahir Narsimho Hridaye Narsimho Nara Chintamani Sharanam Kapate Avakara Kamala Gare Nata Matuka Shinya Lalita Hiranyakashipu Kanu Shinya Vishabhadra Nara Hari Rupa Jagadish Hare, Jaya Jagadish Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jai Jai Gurudev. Jai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gora Hari Bol. Jai Gaur Premanande, Bhakti Vinod Nrsimhadev Bhagwan ki, Dr. Shiromani Prahlad Maharaj ki, Sri Lakshmi Nrsimha Swami Prahlad Maharaj ki, Sri Lakshmi Nrsimha Swami Bhagwan ki, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai Gaur Premanande. So we have the birthday boy here. So today is his birthday. What number is it? Pranil. So Pranil Prabhu ka birthday. So let us all sing Hare Krishna, Krishna kind of birthday celebration. Can you do that? Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna to you, Hare Rama to you, Hare Rama to you, Hare Rama to you, Hare Rama to you. May you never take birth again. May you never take birth again. May you never take birth again. Hare Krishna to you. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namaha. So let's pray for his good health, happiness, and good spiritual progress by chanting 3 times Hare Krishna mantra by lifting our hands. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Pranil Prabhu ki jai. Thank you all. So we celebrate birthdays in a different way, Vaishnava way. We also have a cake, but today is Ekadashi, so we'll compensate it some other day. Hare Krishna. Please have Prashadam. Hare Krishna.